Okay, it is working now, guys. So,
Ahora
finally,
sí.
we are going to begin with our grammar explanation, babies. Look at this. Today we are going to be talking about something that I guess, I don't know if this is new for you, maybe not, maybe you have seen this before, I think so. However, we are going to talk about it as it was like the very first time we talk about it. Got it? So we are going to be talking about present perfect. And here you have some clues, guys. You have some clues. You have present perfect and you have these has or have and you have past participle. So before beginning with the entire explanation, we are going to check like the previous knowledge you have. Let's begin by saying what is present perfect. What do you understand by present perfect? I mean, what do you imagine? What that may be? What can you tell me? I'm going to move this because I don't want you to read the slide I have under. So, present perfect. What do you imagine? You have some clues here. Has and have plus past participle. But what is it? Yo les digo a ustedes presente perfecto. What is that?
Is present that is perfect.
Okay, teacher is a perfect present. Es un presente super perfecto. Okay, yeah. But, but not really. Any other idea?
Have other order for other context.
Okay, different orders, different contexts. Maybe, yeah. You have one part. What else, guys? Present perfect. Take a look especially to this part. Okay, Samuel is saying, es usado para decir como ya, oh my gosh, give me a second. Yo ha hecho o ya ha hecho. I hope it's like ya. Okay, yeah. Look at this, my dears. Present perfect is going to be, okay, yo he hecho. This is going to be used, guys, to talk about things that begin in the past, something that begin in the past at a specified time in the past, but in the past. However, even when it begins in the past, it is going to have like some consequences in the present or maybe in the future. Or you are going to continue with this action in the present or in the future. That's the reason why the name is present perfect. No pasado perfecto, sino presente perfecto, porque aun cuando arranca en el pasado, va a estar en el pasado, vas a usar cosas en pasado, es presente porque va a tener una repercusión en el presente, ahorita, okay? Or in the future. Look at this. That, I mean, in general words, that's present perfect. And you have two things here. What is the meaning of have? Have or has? Is this the same verb? Tell me. Is it the same verb, babies? Has or have? The same verb or is something different? Oh God, what is the meaning of have? If I say I have a dog, what am I saying?
Tener.
Tener. I have a dog. Yo tengo un perro. What happens if I say she has a dog? ¿Qué estoy diciendo? What am I saying?
Como
Ella tiene un perrito.
Exactly. So the question once again, have and has is the same or it is different? ¿Es el mismo verbo o es diferente?
es el mismo.
Is the same verb. It's exactly the same verb. But what happened? The thing that happens with every single thing in the third person. You are going to use has with he, she. You are going to use have with the other ones. And let's talk about this one, past participle, guys. Do you remember that at the beginning of this term, we made like this contest of verbs that we were talking about it and that I told you guys, the third column is the past participle, we are going to use it and so on. So the past participle form of a verb, babies, is another way to use the verb in past. Es otra forma de usar el verbo en pasado. For example, instead of saying I saw a movie, en lugar de decir yo vi una película, otra forma de usarlo en pasado es I have seen a movie. Yo he visto una película, ¿sí ven? Es otra forma del verbo en pasado. So we are going to practice with that a lot, okay? But first of all, guys, keep in mind this. Present perfect, something that begin in the past, but it has consequences in the present or in the future. Questions up to this point? Okay, so let's continue, or actually, let's begin with our explanation, guys. We are going to talk about it, so we are going to begin checking let's talk about the theory. Let's begin with the theoretical part of this grammar topic. I am going to ask Sophie to read this slide. So, Princess, can you please help me reading this slide? Go ahead, Sophie.
Yes, Miss. Okay. We use the present perfect tense to say that an action happened at an unspecified time before now.
Continue. So, okay, guys. We use it, as I was telling you, to say that an action, that something happened at an specified time before now. What is the meaning of unspecified? What is that?
No es específico.
No, it's specific. What does it mean, guys? That the exact time is not important. You may have it. I mean, I am not saying that you are never going to have specific dates. No es que nunca vayas a tener una fecha o un momento en el tiempo específico. No, but it is not really important. You don't really need it. So the exact time is not important. Here you have your keywords. To say that an action happened at an unspecified time, but the exact time is not important. So we are going to check, my dears, the rules. We are going to check how to make it, how to form this tense, and we are going to be working with some videos. We are going to have the chance and the time to practice, and basically that's going to be our today's class, okay? But first, I am going to give you some seconds to take notes of this first part because it is important. Remember, to say that an action happened at an unspecified time before now, that means the exact time is not important. 30 seconds to take notes of this part. Ready, my dears, or no yet? Can we continue? Yes, no, yes, no. Okay, let's say yes because you are super, super quiet. So, my dears, present perfect. We are going to begin working with this. So, before beginning, guys, it is quite important to review the verb to have. As I was telling you, like at the very beginning of the class, we are going to be using have, but have is going to change according to the subject. It is not going to be have for everything. We are going to change it, okay? So remember this. We are going to be using the verb to have as a helping verb, like as an auxiliary verb. Va a ser un verbo auxiliar. Okay, my dears, so what does it mean? That means, guys, that you are going to be using present perfect with two verbs. Vas a usar dos verbos, uno que es auxiliar, uno que es principal. El verbo auxiliar siempre va a ser igual, no te va a cambiar. Siempre vas a usar have o has. Y luego el que te cambia es el verbo principal. But before beginning, let's check the verb to have. So look at this. Take notes to this, guys, because this is going to be super important. When do you use have? When do you use has? You are going to use have with these subjects, with I, with you, we, you in plural, and they. Acuérdense que tienes dos you because this is you de tú and this is you de ustedes, okay? And you are going to use has, babies, you already know this, with he, she, and it, okay? With the third person. But it is going to be an auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs, okay? keep in mind this. We will use this as a helping verb, as an auxiliary verb. Please take notes of this part, my dears, because I don't want you to forget when to use have and when to use has. So 30 seconds to take notes. Okay, my dears, can we continue? Are you ready?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
we're super quiet. Okay, thank you. So yes, let's continue, teacher. Thank you, Danny. So my dears, so the verb to have, like I am just giving you like a brief introduction for all of the things we are going to be talking about today. So now that you have a brief idea of the verb to have, we are going to continue, my dears. So here we go. Finally, let's talk about present perfect. So Danny, baby, can you please help me reading this slide, like the first part, till of a verb?
Okay, miss. Can you hear me in a good way?
Yes, baby.
Okay, this tense is forward using two components. The helping verb have in the present tense and the past participle form of the verb. So let's see what it look like all together.
Thank you, Danny. So look at this, my dears. This is super important. This tense, guys, as I was telling you, is going to be used to talk about something that began in the past, but it's going to have consequences in the future. But how can you make it? How can you form it? First of all, you are going to take into account that you have two components. You are going to have two parts for the sentence. First of all, the helping verb that is going to be have. The helping verb have in the present tense. That means have or has. And you are going to have also the past participle form of a verb. Do you remember that in the last part, in the last page of your book, you have like a list of verbs? The participle form is the third column, la tercera columnita de su lista de verbos. Remember, babies, that we have regular verbs and irregular verbs. Tenemos verbos regulares y verbos irregulares. With the irregular verbs, you are going to change the structure. But with the regular verbs, you are just going to finish with ed. Acuérdense, verbos regulares terminan en ed, también en el participio. Los irregulares sí cambian. So you have to take some time to practice. You should take some time to memorize the verbs. Okay, my dears? So here we go. We are going to check some examples just for you to understand this first part. The first one, the boat has sunk. What is the meaning of sunk, guys? ¿Qué dice acá? The boat has sunk. El barco se ha. What do you think? What may happen to a boat? ¿Qué le podrá pasar a un barco?
¿Se habrá hundido?
Hundido. Miren que este es el participio del verbo. El verbo es sink, in past sank and then sunk. Can you see? Participio. El barco se ha hundido. Miren cómo es este pasado. En lugar de decir hundió, es hundido. Comido, llegado, estado. Can you see? That's the participle. So, the boat has sunk. Look at this, my dears. Oh my gosh, no yet. Look at this. You have this. This is a thing. That means it. For that reason, you are going to use has and then the participle of the verb. Let's take a look to the second example. She has collected. What is the meaning of this? She has collected. Who can tell me? She has collected. What is that? Ella ha recolectado. That's it. She has collected. Very good. What about the next one? I have watched. I have watched. What is that saying? What is it? Open your microphones and tell me. I have watched. If I say, for example, I have watched that movie 100 times. Okay, Sam, yo he visto. Very good. ¿Ven que va cambiando el have o el has dependiendo del sujeto? And then the participle. Let's take a look to the other one. My sister has swum. My sister has swum. What is the meaning of swum?
Nadar.
Nadado. So, ¿qué dice acá? Mi hermana ha nadado. The next one. Our guest has arrived. Our guest. What is the meaning of guest? Our guest. What is it?
Invitado.
Invitado, nuestro invitado. So, our guest has arrived. Nuestro invitado ha llegado. Ese es el presente perfecto. Decir, ha hecho, ha estado, ha llegado, ha mirado, ha ido. Can you see? Or look at this one. The teacher has said. What is this? What is the meaning of this? The teacher has said. If I say, the teacher has said, please take notes. La profesora ha dicho, por favor, tomen notas. So can you see it is something that began in the past. The fact that the teacher said something is in the past, but it is going to have repercussion. It's going to have a consequence in the future. In this case, what is the consequence? That you are going to take notes. Can you see? So questions up to this point, my dears? Questions about it? No? So please, some seconds to take notes, my dears. Go ahead. Ready, my dears, or no yet? Please let me know.
No, chocolatina yet.
No yet? Okay, take some time. Okay, guys, 30 seconds and then we are going to continue.
I am ready.
Let's continue, my dear. So, remember, two components, the helping verb, the auxiliary verb, and the past participle form of that verb. So let's continue talking about it, present perfect. But first, guys, what is a past participle? ¿Qué es un pasado participio? As I was telling you, babies, we have two verbs, regular and irregular. This is like a brief review. With a regular verb, babies, the past participle is going to finish with ed, just like in simple past. Así como los verbos en pasado simple terminan en ed, los verbos regulares en participio también van a ser igualitos, ¿ok? Finish in ed. But when you have irregular verbs, oh my God. Oh no, yeah. So look at this one. I'm sorry. So you have collect. This is a regular verb, so you are going to end with collected. You have, for example, arrive. This is a regular verb. It is going to end with ed, so arrived. Look at this one. You have enjoy. Once again, this is a regular verb, so you are going to end with enjoyed. Can you see? Watch, regular verbs. This is going to end with watch it. ed, easy peasy. But with irregular verbs, babies, you have to memorize it. You have to learn it. Tienen que aprenderse los participios de los verbos, mis amores. Esto es de mucho trabajo autónomo, chicos. De sentarse, de trabajarlos, de aprenderlos. En clase los vamos a usar. La parte de usarlos lo hacemos en clase. But this is autonomous learning, guys. If you, I can give you, we have had classes of learning this. However, if you don't take like seriously the time to do it, to learn it, it won't be happening, okay? It won't be doing, you won't be able to learn it in a good way. Because irregular verbs, as well as it happens in past simple, with the participle that has like different structures. Tienes que aprenderlas. Tienes la lista de verbos en el libro, te puede ayudar. ¿Listo? Pero es una estructura diferente. No es con ed, te va a cambiar la forma. So let's take a look to some examples. For example, this one, sung. This is the participle, the past participle form of which verb? What is the infinitive form of sung? ¿Cuál es la forma infinitiva de este verbo, sung? Who can tell me? This is the participle form of which verb? ¿De qué verbo es el participio? Who can tell me? Someone? No one? Sing, that's it. Sing, que es hundirse. So, present, like the infinitive, sing, this is the participle, sung. Let's take a look to another one. Swim. This is the participle of which verb? What is the infinitive form of swim?
Swim.
Swim, very good. What about this one? Eaten. This is the participle of which verb?
Eat.
Eat, very good. What about this one? Set. This is the participle of which verb? Say. Very good. Say. Can you see, my dears? So you have multiple participles that you have to learn because those are irregular. So let's continue then. I am going to show you this video. We are going to watch the video and we are going to try to identify the use of present perfect there. Vamos a ver cuándo está el presente perfecto ahí, okay? Here we go.
The jury has found you guilty. Let's see how America voted.
Sorry, he's changed his mind again. Stripes on the zebra, spots on the giraffe, no stars on the lion, and make the elephant bigger and the amoeba smaller.
We've voted you off the island.
Now look what you've done.
Thank you, but I've already provided for my children's college education. Damn.
Hey, I love what you've done with the office.
So, babies, that's it. Were you able to identify some structures? Some structures in oh well. Can you hear me? I think I lost my connection for a while.
No, yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, no, siempre te hemos escuchado.
Okay. So, guys, were you able to identify some structures in present perfect there? Or no?
Profe,
Tell me.
mi internet está fallando porque se cortó, como yo había tanto internet, tanto.
Okay, yeah, you're not, okay. Sí, te está fallando el internet. Ok, Nico, no te preocupes. Igual recuerda que esto queda grabado para que si acaso lo puedas volver a ver. ¿Listo, mi amor?
Ok, profe.
Okay, guys, were you able to identify something there? Some present perfect structures in cartoons? Or not that much? Like teacher, no, not at all. What can you tell me? ¿Lograron identificar alguna estructura or not?
So.
So. I am going to activate the subtitles. This is going to be, oh my gosh, this is going to be done in English. I am going to activate the subtitles and we are going to watch the video again with subtitles if this let me do it. Give me a second. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on today. Oh my God. Give me a second.
The jury has found you guilty. Let's see how America voted.
Sorry, he's changed his mind again. Stripes on the zebra, spots on the giraffe, no stars on the lion, and make the elephant bigger and the amoeba smaller.
We've voted you off the island.
Now look what you've done.
Thank you, but I've already provided for my children's college education. Damn.
Hey, I love what you've done with the office.
Okay, my dear, so now that you had the subtitles, were you able to identify the structures? Who can give me an example? Okay, so Pachito has sent us one. Let's see how America voted. We've voted you off of the island. Look at this. Very good. So the first one, let's see how America voted. The second part, this one of we've voted, I am going to send it through the chat. We voted you off the island. Look at this. Let me send it through the chat. Oh no, give me a second. So, look at the one that I'm going to send through the chat. That is the one that Pachito is sending. With, what happened with this with? If I put something like this is the contracted form of what? With. What is that? What is with? We have. That's it. We have. Okay? We have. So you can say, we have voted you off. Vote is a regular verb. So it can be, we have voted you off, or we've voted you off. Any other structure? Were you able to identify something else? ¿Alguna otra estructura en presente? Perfecto. Something else, guys? No? Oh my God. So guys, look at this. Take a look to this. We voted you off the island. Esa es una decisión que tomaron en el pasado. Es una acción que arrancó en el pasado. ¿Tiene consecuencias en el presente o en el futuro? Yes or no? What can you tell me? We've voted you off the island. Do you have consequences in the present or in the future with this decision they did in the past? What do you think, Sophie? Do you have consequences? Yes or no? What? Okay, Pachito is saying yes. Why, Pachito? Please open your microphone, darling, and tell me.
Because the thing or the person that have been voted will be out of the island. So this change, I think, in the present.
That's it, guys, because there is someone who is being expelled from the island, and the consequence in the present, in the future, is that this person, think animal in this case, has to make an entire new life from this decision that will happen in the past, but it's going to have consequences in the future. So, my dears, questions up to this point? In the video, you have some examples, but let me know. Do you have questions up to this point or no yet? No questions then? Okay, so we are going to continue with this. I am going to give you some tips, some clues to understand the present perfect. So here we go with the first one. I am going to ask some of you to help me reading while I am playing the slides, okay? So, Juan D, can you please help me reading this first part? Number one.
The present perfect is used when the time period is not finished.
Very good. We are going to use it where the time period is not finished. Let's take a look to this example. I have seen 3 movies this week. So let me ask you guys, period that is not finished. Let's think about this week. Is this week over? ¿Ya se acabó esta semana? Yes or no? No yet. So maybe you are going to watch an extra movie or some extra movies between today and Sunday. Can you see? So first use, we are going to use present perfect when the time period is not finished. In this example, you have this week. I have seen 3 movies this week. Maybe you are going to keep watching movies. Vas a seguir viéndolas. You have no idea. Okay? Okay, let's continue, Juan D. Attack. Juan D, number 2.
A. The present perfect is often used when the time is not mentioned.
Perfect. The present perfect is going to be used by this when you don't have a specific time mentioned there. Let's take a look to this example. Gary has failed his exam again. So tell me, guys, do you have a date or maybe a specific hour or something in this example or no? Do you have a specific time, a specific date? No, nothing. You just have the fact. And the fact is that Gary has failed his exam again. When? We have no idea. But did happen. Is this going to happen again? Possibly. We have no idea. Okay? Danny, are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Se encendió solo.
Yes, it's like open, close, open, close. So, yeah, poor Jerry. Jerry has failed his exam again. So we have to use us by now. Oh, no. I'm back. I lost my connection for a while, okay?
Ah, eras tú. La profe. Hoy, ¿qué pasa hoy, profe?
Not today with my connection. I'm sorry. Okay, let's continue. So, guys, so we have to use this by now. When the time period is not finished and when the time is not mentioned. The next one, Juan, the attack, number 3.
The present perfect is often used when the time is recent.
Okay, the present perfect is often used when the time is recent, guys. Got it? So when something has just happened, cuando algo acaba de suceder. So we are going to take a look to the example. James has just arrived in Victoria. What happened with this just? What is the meaning of this just in this case? ¿Qué dice esta oración? Who can tell me? What is the meaning of this?
James acaba de arribar a Victoria. En Victoria.
Yeah, James has just arrived in Victoria. Acaba de llegar, esto acaba de suceder.
Acaba de arribar.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the verb, you know? So, esto acaba de suceder, amores. This is just like happened. It's in the past, acabó de suceder, está en el pasado, pero es una acción tan reciente que inmediatamente vas a tener tus consecuencias o tu repercusión. Can you see? In that case, guys, you are going to use, for example, words like this one, just. He has just arrived. Acaba de llegar, acaba de suceder esto, okay? So we are going to continue with this. The next use, Juan, the attack.
The present perfect is often used when for and since. Sí se dice así.
For and since. Say with me, for and since.
For and since.
That's it. So the present perfect is often used with for and since. What is the meaning of for? Babies, what is the meaning of for? Para o por, también puede ser. And what about since? What is the meaning of since? What is the meaning of since? Desde. So very good. Let's check the example. Greg has lived here for 20 years. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre el for y el since, mis amores? What's the difference? What is the difference, guys, between for and since? What do you think?
Profe, yo de pronto el tiempo, porque for is para y since es desde pasado, ¿no? Bueno.
Ambos son para hablar del pasado. En este caso, el for va a ser para decir por. Entonces, miren, ¿cuál es la diferencia? Aquí les está diciendo, Greg has lived here for 20 years. Ha vivido aquí por 20 años. Te está dando un tiempo específico, una duración en años, o en meses, o en días, o bueno, un tiempo específico. Pero, por ejemplo, si acá dijera since, diría algo como, Greg has lived here since 2010. Desde este año, desde este momento. ¿Listo? Desde ese tiempo él está viviendo acá. No el tiempo específico que lleva viviendo ahí, como en años, sino desde cuándo está sucediendo eso. Okay? So that's like the main difference. Questions about these uses, guys? When the time period is not finished, when the time is not mentioned, when the time is present, or with for and since. Questions about it? So go ahead, babies. Now you have some seconds to take notes.
It's a question.
A question, baby?
Just what is your
What is the
proveedor de internet?
No, my internet is like usually good, but I don't know what's going on today.
Está re loco.
No, es el Meet que está loco.
It is, You have seen that it's just today because I have like the super speed.
No, profe, a mí ahorita me decía que se me perdió la conexión y llevaba 5 de ping.
Pero es que no sé, amores, porque no sé, porque todo me está funcionando normal. Entonces no sé si es el internet o si es Meet como tal. No sé si es la plataforma.
Pues a mí me va bien todo. O sea,
A mí me da medio bien.
For example, when I was about to record the class, they said that like we can record the class because you are going to lose your students. So can you see? So maybe it's Meet. I don't know. I just have to check what's going on because the other pages, I mean, Prezi and everything is working like in a really good way. But Meet is the only one has been having these troubles. Okay. However, babies, just take notes. Babies, don't forget to try to use different colors. In that way, you are going to be able to understand this better, to catch it in your mind, and so on. So go ahead. Some seconds to take notes of the uses. Ready, my dears, or no yet?
reír.
All of you, what about the others? Ready or no yet? Please let me know if you need more time or if I can continue. Ready, okay. So let's continue. These are the uses. So let's take a look to some examples and to some aspects. So use number 1, unspecified time before now. Once again, babies, remember, you have to use have or has plus the past participle. That's the key word. Let's take a look to this example. So I am going to ask, Nicolas, can you please help me reading this example, baby?
I have seen the movie 20 times. See.
Very good. I have seen that movie 20 times. You have your subject, you have in this case have, and you have the verb in past participle. This is in affirmative. Let's take a look to another one. Nico, the next one.
I think I've on for
Okay. I think I have met him once before. Once again, you have your subject, your verb, your auxiliary verb, that in this case is have, and the verb in participle. I have met him once before. Let's continue. What about this one, Sari? The next one. There
have been
There have been
was in California.
Okay, thank you, Nico. Sari, you are going to read the next one. Thank you, Nico. So there have been many earthquakes in California. What is the meaning of an earthquake?
es terremoto.
Once again, look at this. What is the subject? ¿Cuál es el sujeto? There have been. Miren que acá están usando there because cuando siguen leyendo, you have earthquakes. Earthquakes in this case is the subject. For that reason, you are going to use have. There have been many earthquakes in California. The next one, Sari.
People have traveled to the moon.
People have traveled to the moon. Once again, you have your subject, in this case, people, a lot of people. So have plus the verb in participle. This is a regular verb. For that reason, it ends with ed. Let's go with some examples from the use number 2. referring to an experience. Look at this, para hablar de experiencias. So the first one, I am going to ask Majo Garcia, can you please help me reading this example, baby?
Okay, Miss. I have been to France.
Experiences. I, the subject, then you have the auxiliary verb and the participle. Yo he estado en Francia. I have been to France. Let's continue. Majo, continue, please.
You have grown since the last time I saw you.
Thank you. Experiences. You, the subject, have grown. Has crecido. You have grown. Y miren que acá tenemos el since. Desde. You have grown since the last time I saw you. Has crecido desde la última vez que te vi. Desde este momento en el tiempo hacia acá. Let's go with the next example. Majo, continue. Our son
has learned how to read.
Perfect. Our son has learned how to read. Very good. Our son has learned how to read. Look at this. In this case, my dears, you are using has. Why? Because our son is just one person and it is a boy. So he has learned how to read. And look at this one. Another example with experience. Majo.
Scientists have split the atom.
Perfect. Once again, scientists have split the atom, han dividido el átomo. So, my dears, taking into account the examples we have seen by now, todos estos arrancaron en el pasado, pero tienen consecuencias en el futuro. No hay tiempos específicos mencionados en los que les mostré, no hay yesterday, 2 years ago, no lo hay. But you are using present perfect mostly because you are going to have a connection with the present. Let's take a look to this one. For example, scientists have split the atom. Do you think this fact, the fact that they have split the atom, is having consequences today or not anymore? What do you think? Yes or no? The fact that they have split the atom has consequences today or not? Wow, you are super quiet. What is the question?
Yes.
So, we are checking this example. Les estoy diciendo que en todos los que hemos visto, usualmente arranca esto en el pasado, es algo que sucedió en el pasado, pero va a tener su consecuencia en el presente o en el futuro. So, this is the question. Let's take a look to the example you have here. Scientists have split the atom. Do you think this is something that is having consequences today or not anymore? Que ellos hayan dividido el átomo en algún punto de la historia, ¿está teniendo consecuencias? ¿Sí o no, amores?
No.
No? No consequences? Of course you have consequences, babies. Obviamente hay consecuencias, chicos, para los estudios que se vienen haciendo, para diferentes investigaciones, para diferentes procesos. Can you see? They are still using divided atoms for a lot of things. So yeah, you have consequences. Look at this one. Daniel, attack with this example. I have had
4 quizzes and 5 tests so far this semester.
So look at this. This is experience, but it is also something that isn't over yet. A question for you. This semester is over or no? Yes or no? Is this over or no yet?
No.
No yet. So it is possible to keep having quizzes and tests like for the rest of the semester. But it is an experience. So I have had 4 quizzes and 5 tests. No se ha terminado el tiempo. So we are going to check another video, babies, just to reinforce the things and the uses we have talked about. But please let me know, do you have questions about present perfect up to this point? Questions about it? Questions up to this point? ¿Qué es importante? El verbo auxiliar, have o have, o has, y el participio del verbo but. Tell me, questions up to this point? So let's watch the video. It is not longer available.
Lo borraron del YouTube.
Yeah,
No.
it is not longer available on the YouTube.
¿Cómo se llama el video, profe?
It was working like a week ago. It is not working anymore.
No, pero ¿cómo se llama?
No. I will try to look for it on the YouTube like again and to show it to you on the YouTube channel. I guess that the video is not longer there, so I am going to look for another one to show you. So look at this. Let's continue without the other video. How well did you understand the present perfect tense? We are going to check it. Each one of you is going to give me one example. We are going to try to this was about like having this explanation at school, but well, we don't have it. So we are going to do it here. Let's think about some examples together. So I need two of you to tell me an example. So who wants to do it? Like volunteers. Who can give me an example in present perfect? Raise your hand if I have volunteers. If no, I will create my own volunteers. I will pick two of you. So I am going to give you like 30 seconds to think about one example. And then if you want to tell me the example, you can do it. So 30 seconds to think about the example. So, ready with your examples, guys? Do I have volunteers? Someone, a volunteer to give me an example or not that much? Okay, we have Pachito. Pachito, attack.
Okay, my example is, have you read the book yet?
Okay, a question, have you read the book yet? Perfect. Look at the structure, guys. ¿Cómo es la estructura? Miren que no la hemos mirado. How is the structure in affirmative, negative, and interrogative? So in affirmative, it's really easy. I just told you. So you have the subject, plus have or has, plus the verb in participle, plus the complement. That's in affirmative. What happened, guys, with negative? Have you read the book yet? That's a question. So what happened with negative? ¿Cómo ponemos una oración en negativo? Let's take an example, for example, here. Let's use one of these. Look at this. You have grown since the last time I saw you. This is in affirmative. How can I put this in negative? ¿Cómo hago para poner eso en negativo?
I hasn't.
The same, exactly.
No,
you. Ahí lo tienes, Dani, sí lo tienes bien, pero usa el mismo sujeto.
Ok, o sea, si es hasn't, you hasn't grown.
Pero estos datos los tengo.
But, ¿qué estás usando? Are you using have or are you using have in this case?
Ah, ok, have, no?
So, how is it?
Have not.
Have not. So you have not or you haven't grown since the last time I saw you. So what's the only thing you have to do? You have to put the auxiliary verb in negative. So you have subject plus has not or have not or hasn't or haven't plus the verb participle plus the complement. Got it? And what happened, my dears, with the questions? Pachito gave us an example. Have you read the book yet? Have you done this before? Have you just arrived?
Es igual que todo, se invierte.
Se invierte. Easy peasy. Entonces, en lugar de tener sujeto, verbo auxiliar, vas a tener verbo auxiliar, sujeto. So, you are going to use have or has according to the subject plus the subject plus the verb in participle plus the complement plus what? ¿Qué me falta? the question mark. Got it? Plus the question mark. So that's the structure. Very good, Pachito. Very good example. Have you read the book yet? Who can give me another example? Do I have another volunteer? More examples in present perfect? Do I have something else? Or no? Volunteers? Someone? Okay, I have someone else. Okay, Pachito, attack with your question.
Is another example of question. Is have you ever been in Canada?
Have you ever been in Canada? Miren que Pachito nos está usando palabras como yet. What is the meaning of yet? Have you read the book yet? ¿Aún? ¿Como no has leído el libro aún? Aún, es como un aún, todavía. Okay? What about ever? Have you ever been in Canada? ¿Alguna vez has estado? I have never been. I have never been es nunca he estado. I have never eaten. For example, if I say, I have never eaten sushi. If I say this example, I have never eaten sushi. What am I saying there?
Yo nunca he comido sushi.
Yo nunca he comido sushi. Miren que con palabras, amores, como ever, never, just, already, lo van a poner siempre entre el verbo auxiliar y el verbo en participio. I have, la palabra que complementa, y el verbo, luego sí, en participio. I have never eaten. I have just eaten. I have already eaten. I have... no, that's it. Pero con el yet, ese va al final. ¿Ok? Ese usualmente va al final. I haven't finished my homework yet. And it is going to be usually used with negatives and with questions. I have never gone to the cinema, for example, or I haven't gone to the cinema yet. Questions and so on. So I need another example, but not with questions, no con preguntas. So I am going to ask, for example, Sophie, can you please give me another example in affirmative or in negative by using present perfect, baby? Go ahead, Sophie. Think about an example. Remember the structure. Subject, have or has, the verb in participle. So go ahead, baby. But first, let me know if you are there because I have no reply from you. So are you there, baby? Sophie? Maybe not. So I am going to ask, let me check. For example, Danny, do you have an example for me?
Sí. A ver, espera, lo pienso.
You can do it.
You have eaten sushi. Bueno, no sé.
Oh, that's similar to the one I gave.
Sí, es que...
Que me lo hiciste como you have eaten sushi, me lo hiciste como pregunta y no con la estructura de pregunta. Entonces, dame otro ejemplo.
Sí, no, es que... No, la pregunta sería... Have you eaten sushi, no?
Have you eaten sushi? Something like that. Yeah, but give me something in affirmative. Give me an example in affirmative.
Espera, lo pienso.
Okay. Go ahead, you can do it.
You have
You have, más bien.
Sí, es que estoy pensando en un ejemplo que no sea parecido al tuyo. O sea, comer sushi. No, you have played football, soccer. You have played soccer.
No me lo pregunto.
No.
Porque you have played soccer. That's it. You have played soccer. How can you say exactly the same in negative, Danny?
You haven't played soccer.
That's it. And how is the question?
Es una regla de tres, ¿no?
¿De
Si
qué?
10
The question. How is the question?
Have you played soccer?
Have you played soccer? Very good. So, Juan Pablo, do you have an example for me?
Espérame, lo pienso, Miss. With
No.
me.
Ya,
es que no sé por qué le ponía el ED al player. O sea, como que está confundido ahí.
Verbo regular.
Sí.
Acuérdate de eso. Cuando son verbos regulares. So, go ahead, go ahead. Okay, while Juan Pablo is thinking, mientras Juan Pablo piensa, Pachito, attack with your example.
We have read that book.
We have
Read that book.
We have read that book. That's it. We have read that book. Easy peasy. We have read that book. How can you say exactly the same in negative?
We haven't read that book.
Very good. And how can you say that in questions? In a question, how is the question?
Have we read that book?
Have we read the book? That's it. Juan Pablo, are you ready with your example? Okay. Miremos el que me hace. Have you go to, okay, United States, guys. ¿Qué te falta ahí? Acuérdate de la estructura. Entonces tienes el have, bien, el sujeto, bien, pero ¿qué pasa con el go? Me lo pusiste normal, me lo pusiste en definitivo y me lo tienes que poner en el participio. ¿Cuál es el participio de go? Check your book, the last page of your book. Es un verbo irregular. Entonces mira tu libro y cuéntame cuál es el participio de go.
When?
Ese es el pasado y el participio es la tercera columna.
Ah, ya, perdón, me confundí. Gone. No sé cómo se dice.
Gone, ok. Entonces ahora dime la oración. Dímela, no me la escribas. Dímela cómo quedaría.
Have you gone to United States?
Have you gone to United States? That's it. Very good. ¿Cómo te queda esa misma oración en afirmativo, Juan Pablo? No en pregunta, sino en afirmativo.
You... Creo que inicie mal.
No, más bien, porque primero va el sujeto. You.
Entonces, ¿sería you going to United States? O
¿Qué te faltó?
Can you? No, can no.
Mira la pregunta. Tu pregunta es, have you gone to United States? Have you gone? Porque el presente perfecto tiene dos reglas. El verbo auxiliar, have o has, y el verbo en participio pasado.
Ah, entonces sería has, no. Sí.
Entonces, primero el sujeto, en afirmativo o primero el sujeto. You.
You has gone to United States.
No me lo digas como pregunta. Y es con have. You have gone to United States.
Ah, es con have.
Sí, listo. You have gone to United States. Now in negative, Juan Pablo. You can do it. In negative. ¿Cómo te queda?
Negative.
Tienes que hacer una sola cosa. Poner en negativo el verbo auxiliar. ¿Cómo te queda?
Ahí sí ya sería has.
No, nunca va a ser el have o el has nunca va a cambiar porque va a depender del sujeto. Tú solo vas a usar has con he, she, and it. Con you siempre va a ser have. Entonces no lo cambies. ¿Cómo te quedaría en negativo, mi vida? How is it? How is it, baby? Entonces, tenemos la pregunta. I am going to send this through the chat just to help you, okay? Have you, I am going to send through the chat. That's the question. Now, this is in affirmative. And how is in negative? Tienes que poner en negativo el verbo auxiliar. ¿Cómo te quedaría? You
haven't gone to United States.
That's it. Very good. You haven't gone.
Lo pensé, pero me estaba confundido con otra cosa.
That's it. You haven't gone there. So, my dears, that's it. Remember, babies, it is important, like super important, to use the auxiliary verb, but also to use the verb in past participle. Questions up to this point, please let me know if you have questions up to this point. ¿Qué pasa si yo quiero usar una forma contraída? Si en lugar de decir you have, lo quiero usar en contracted form, puedes poner solamente el auxiliar, el apóstrofe, acuérdense. You can say you've, that's the you have, or you can say, for example, she's. Y las con ese, cuando, especialmente con el has, porque la forma de abreviar el has es eso. Si después de ese she tienen un verbo en participio, significa que es she, has y el verbo. Si no tienen un verbo en participio, significa que es she is, ella es. ¿Listo? Entonces, pilas con ese. Yo les diría que por el momento no me hagan abreviaciones de nada. ¿Listo? Úsenmelo normal, común y corriente, sin abreviaciones. So, my dears, please tell me, do you have questions, something to say, something you didn't understand? Something like that you say, teacher, what is this? I have no idea. What am I doing here? No? So, my dears, we are going to practice a bit.
Quizzes.
Tell me.
Quizzes, teacher.
Okay, it's easy, guys. We are going to practice a bit. So we are going to practice with a game. I mean, we have like 10 minutes. I guess we have time. I don't know. I hope so. Remember, guys, we are going to use since para decir desde, for para decir por, yet para decir que aún no, already para decir ya. Okay? We are going to check this. We are going to check how you do this activity. So I am going to share with you the link of a game in quizzes. I'm going to ask you to access like really fast in 1 minute, if possible. So I am going to send you the link here through the chat for you to access. Go ahead, please access.
Pruebe y cuento aquí le ganó a Pacho.
Okay, we have the challenge now. So, my dears, while you are accessing here, I am going to stop with the recording of the class because it is just time to practice. Remember, you are going to be able to find the find the recording of the class in the YouTube channel, or you are going to find the link of the recording of the class tomorrow in today's forum. Okay. So while you are accessing, I am going to stop the recording of the class.